Welcome back to The Big Show. It's Summer with the Stars, and let me tell you, my next guest is one of the biggest, flashiest stars ever. Brian Conley, how are you?
Why am I flashy?
Why did you need to wear a frock to do this interview?
Well, no, I'm not. Don't tell them that. They'll get funny thoughts. I'm not. I'm sitting in my trousers. But I am looking forward to playing Edna in Hairspray. So, and I have had fittings, and I have a very large fat suit, which I'm maybe not looking forward to because it is height of the summer, and I think we're going to go through a huge heat wave now, because as soon as I'm in any theatre in the summer, it was a glorious last summer, I was in Chichester, so for me, yes, I will be hot, but that's an occupational hazard. It's a great part and it's worth sweating for. How
big are your pendulous boobies that they'll make you wearing this?
There is a line where I say triple E. No, they are big. I can have my lunch in them and my dinner. I suppose I can have a couple of fans in there, a couple of big fellas going, Brian. No, I can fit all sorts in this thing. So I look like some sumo wrestler. But they are big, and I don't know whether I'll start playing with them. Who knows? They give me something to do, I suppose, off stage.
We should explain, we're here backstage at the Shaftesbury, which is home to Hairspray, and it's about the only show they've ever had that's been a success here. Congratulations.
Well, it's not my doing. I mean, but it's nice to be part of a show that's probably one of the top 5 in the West End. So when they asked me to... I came along purely as a punter with my girls. I've got 2 girls, Amy and Lucy. Lucy's 7, Amy's 12. My wife, I won't tell you her age. But we all came along to watch it. It was a great night. Met Michael afterwards. He introduced his breast to my daughter. He said, would you like to see, because my daughter went, oh, can I see your breast? Because that's the big talking point. And he said yes. And then my other daughter, the 7-year-old, went, oh, they're just like my mother's, but much smaller. So, and that's true. So, and then a couple of weeks later, by sheer coincidence, I don't know, but they just rang and said, would I like to come along and audition for it? And I said, yeah, all right, So it's a wonderful part. It's loaded. There's lots of comedy, pathos, and some great songs. And getting to work with the legend that is Nigel Planer. I get to kiss him quite a few times during the show, which could be fun. I'm hoping he's going to have a shave. I don't want to get any rashes. It's wonderful. It really is. And then the great songs. I mean, anyone that's seen the film, I actually feel that the stage production is better than the film. I think that, and I think they always are, I just think there's, the way it flows and the energy and just everything about it. It was written as a stage production, and I think it should have stayed that way. I think it's brilliant.
Michael Ball's a tremendous actor, and he really worked hard to get into this role. He put on about 15 stone. Are you going to do the same?
Well, I haven't got long now. I've only got 3 weeks, so I better catch up. My suit, dare I say it, and God bless you, Michael, and I love you, my fat suit is a little bit bigger than Michael's. So he has lost a bit of weight, though, I have tried. I've been trying, and I'm sort of put on a little bit. I've put on about half a stone. But luckily, I've got a big head. Quite literally, so in proportion it doesn't look too bad. I look good, even if I say so myself. I look like my fat mum, not that she is fat, but I look like my mum if she was fat. So there you go.
There's a responsibility. There's the shaving and the waxing. How far are you actually going to go?
Well, obviously I have the shave, which I do anyway. No, the chest has to go a little bit, but I'm not that hairy, so that's lucky. So, and they don't wax it, they do just get an electric shaver and just away they go. Because I've had photos done, so I have actually worn all the gear. And today is weird, we've been rehearsing some of the dance routines, and I still haven't plucked up the courage to, I'm sort of blocking it through at the moment, but I've got to start wearing my heels, which will be fun. But it's something so different and something that I've never ever done. I mean, I've never ever played a woman. Who knows, from now on maybe my pantomime days will be ending up as Dame. But I don't think so. I still doesn't sit that right. But it's very much, it's quite obviously a bloke in a frock, in this. The original guy, he talked like that, which I think was even funnier. So I have a deep drone anyway, so that's quite funny. There's lovely moments where the phone rings and they think they're speaking to the father, and it's actually me, Edna, and things like that. So that all works a treat. But great songs, great energy, real young company. I mean, you cannot fail to not stand at the end. I mean, I think they're talking about maybe next year sometime that it will tour. but it's still, you still can't get a ticket here. It's still doing very well. And in this present economic downturn, that's a sort of an achievement, and it's really just telling everyone how great the show is, because it's got to be good for them to spend money at this present stage.
I agree, and it is the feel-good show of the West End right now. I've seen it a million times with all different casts, and you never cease to get on your feet at the end of the show. You just have to. It's compulsory.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because of the songs. I mean, it just builds and builds and builds. And we've got a new Tracy, Chloe, who's brilliant. She's 21, has her very first job out of drama school, and a new link. So I think that with the three of us there, and Nigel hasn't been there too long, but we'll really inject some energy, some fresh sort of blood into it.
What are you, though? Are you a musical star? Because you've done that before with a Music Man and shows like that. You're a comedian, you're a stand-up, you're a panto man, you're a TV presenter. What are you?
I'm an entertainer. I'm someone who does a bit of jack of all trades. I'll keep it... I mean, I'm not on the telly now, so I can't ballroom dance, and I hate the jungle, and I can't cook, so that's my TV career down the pan. But I've never actually sort of, run towards that light, that fame. I like my job. I like doing what I do. I like entertaining. I like the escapism of a musical, and I think in the present, where we are in the world, I think there should be things like this that just make people feel good and human, and there is goodness out there, and I always feel that something like a musical should be about a good night for everyone, so, but for me, I enjoy doing it all, but I suppose deep down, I always say I was born to sing, and everything else I learn. People are always quite surprised. They go, I didn't know you could sing. But no, that was, my father's a good opera singer, and I sort of mimicked that, and from that moment on, I would say, though, without a doubt, comedy is the one thing that sort of I really do love. I love making them laugh, and this incorporates all that. I'm dressed as a woman, I'm kissing Nigel, I'm doing these great songs, and loads and loads of comedy.
Is there less pressure with this show because there's a lot going on that isn't to do with you?
Yeah, I'm not the lead. It's all about Tracy. I play Tracy's mother, and Tracy Turnblad is this young girl that's going to hopefully sort of get onto this show called the Coney Collins Show, and it's sponsored by Hairspray, and she auditions a bit like an old-fashioned X Factor. It's all set in 1962, and as well as all that, the underlining factor is it's all about segregation of the whites and the blacks in those early 60s in America. So there's quite a deep, important and profound sort of like underlying sort of plot there, so it works on all different levels, as well as high comedy, but I'm not holding the baton. Lovely, that's great, let someone else have a go. I'll just wander on and get all the laughs.
And I think you do with this, because you get to steal the show in certain places, but you don't have to work that hard through it, certainly compared to Jolson or the Music Man.
Yeah, no, it's in a different league. I suppose the only thing that I'll tell you once I'm up and running, because it's still got a little while before I open, only a week or so, but it's the suit. It's where it's all the heels, the wigs. I mean, we're doing it during the summer. There's not a lot of heat can escape. Like normally it would go through your head, but you've got a wig on, big wigs, everything else. I mean, if they gave me a beard, that would just pretty much sort of like be the icing on. And now stick this beard on as well. But no, I'm not that ugly. So I'll have to tell you. If I have to drink a lot of water. But it's not rocket science. It's brilliant. It's a lovely show. And I think I'm going to be elevated to God with my kids, because they love the film. It's either this, or if I was in High School Musical, that would be another one. They'd blow their minds. Or ironically, this is the same production company put on High School Musical, so who knows? I could be the next Zac Efron,
I doubt it, but it's possible.
I know. Well, I'm going to play a fat woman. Who knows?
Well, the thing is, the kids do love this show because it's a story about a young girl who looks different because she's overweight, and she makes it to the top. And it kind of goes against the High School Musical thing, where they're all good looking and great, aren't they? This is really the reverse of that.
Absolutely. And with the whole black thing, and it's really about accepting people for what they are, who they are inside, not just taking them on face value, and that's what the show's saying, that, hey, you may be fat, but we still all love you. You're still, and you may be black. It's very, very quite a deep plot, and I love it for that.
You've been touring many years by yourself in your dressing room, just doing the one-man show, which is just tremendous. What's it like having gorgeous dancers getting changed in front of you?
It's the perks, love. I say let them look. I don't care. You know what I mean? No, that's what it is. I've grown up surrounded by dancers. The funny thing that these days, like when I was in Chitty in the West End, when I was in music, me and my girl, like back in '91, people would come and go. Now, if anyone gets in a show, they stay there right to the end because they're few and far between, and there's so many people gunning for it now. I think they had an open audition for dancers on this, and about 700 girls turned up. So there's a lot of people out there. I suppose with the success of X Factor and Britain's Got Talent and that, they all see it sort of as something that they can do. And let's do it. I'm lucky that I came in at a different angle through the comedy, had my own act before I ever got into this, and in a way that's very sweet because I'm not totally relying on it. It's not the end of the world if I don't do another musical. I go back and do the act, or cruises or corporate or things like that.
It's interesting because when Harvey created this role, it wasn't the best sung role on Broadway. No. You need a personality.
Yes, big. He's very big. He lives in Harvey. He's fat, keep feeding. And he sounds as if he's going to cough and it's all nothing's going to come out. And I'll tell you something that I found out about him, that he'd done it for 2 years on Broadway, obviously originator of it, never took a day off, even when he was given allocated time, allocated, whatever the right word, time to have off. You've got a week off. No. He stayed on. And it amazes me because when he's singing these songs, and when you hear it now, it just seems as if he's going to cough and it's just all going to go. But he ploughed on, and he originated it. So people say, you've got such a low voice, do you think you'll be able to do it? And I go, no. You listen to the original. Michael Ball is actually someone that is very different that they've had. So for me, I'm sort of very much going back into how, and a lot of the comedy works on that level, There's a wonderful moment where one of the ladies threatens him, and he just turns around and goes, "Excuse me," which all works if you've got a big dulcet tones like myself. But have a little listen to Harvey and just sort of see how deep it really can go.
We're back with our remaining moments with Brian Conley. He's going to be the new star in Hairspray, taking over from Michael Ball. Does that bother you? Because his fans are bonkers and they follow him. I was hearing stories backstage that somebody's been to see it 350 times or something.
There's one lady that's seen it about 300, and she's going to be my understudy. She'll know better than all of us. I've got a few fans that are quite dedicated, but I don't think they're quite in that league. Good luck to him. He's going on and doing a tour and things like that. He's been there a year and a half. I know he's going to leave the place kicking and screaming because, it is a great part. And for me, I'm here till the end of October. Then I go and do pantomime, and who knows? I'd love to come back. Who knows?
Listen, good luck with it because you're perfect for it. When they announced this, it just seems so right because there aren't many of you left. We were talking before about Panto and who they've got where this year. There really aren't that many good variety acts left, are there?
No. That's good, isn't it? Because it means more for me.
And presumably more money as well.
Well, I just always tick over, doing The Music Man was a great challenge for me and something I really enjoyed. But then I just done a tour in April. I was all over the place, went to Oxford and generally everywhere. I had a great time doing that. I love the variety that I have in my career, of bobbing about and doing this and that. I turned down EastEnders twice and Corrie because I didn't really want to be locked into something for that long. The very important thing to me is being a dad. I've got 2 girls, and that's very important. But also doing stuff that I want to do, and this is it. And another one for me, I'd love to do Oliver. Oliver's obviously not Oliver, but, Fagin, Dodger. I'm reviewing the situation. Should a fella be a villain all his life?
Well, after seeing you in your frock, I think Nancy.
Oh,
you'd make a perfect Nancy.
As he needs me. Yeah. Well, who knows? I could be her understudy, a body double. Who knows?
You could be the new Jodie Pringer.
Watch this space, ladies and gentlemen.
Congratulations on being you. I love seeing you live, and especially when you're off script. I don't think something like EastEnders would work for you necessarily, because it's quite serious and boring a lot of the time, let's face it. And you're best when you're being funny, and this allows you to do it. Panto certainly allows you to do it. And of course, those old TV shows, which I always talk to you about. That DVD is legendary. If you can get it on Amazon or eBay, it will make you laugh within seconds.
You go on eBay, I think it's only a couple of quid, so there you go, go for it. But I've had a great career. I've just done this tour called The Best of Brian Conley, and we use a huge video screen, played loads of clips and me talking about, and that's what I was going to do later on this year, but of course Hairspray come about, so I ended up doing this, but that might happen next year sometime, so who knows where it goes. That's where I've enjoyed my career, and enjoyed the fact that it's not all mapped out, and just go with the flow and see where I end up.
Well, congratulations on being you. You're a one-off. You're so rare and so good at what you do. And it's so nice to see somebody who's confident on stage. You feel like nothing could go wrong. And you need that in a theatre, don't you?
Yeah, but it's all front, let me tell you. They call it counter-attack. I am not like that. I'm big, loud. I'm Leo. Typical Leo, so there you go. But you can knock me down with one line. Or one bad review just makes me go, oh, God, this all gone wrong. I've never... But we all combat it. We all combat it in different ways, you know.
All right. Before we go, will you show me your pendulous boobs again?
I will indeed. I'll even let you feel them. There you go.
Thank you, Brian Conley.
I'm blushing.